Family or friends? Thanks. 4% take out a personal loan, and 4% just do something else. Okay, and what that really says is that by having to rely on credit or loans or borrowing money, it's evident that a large portion of the population is budgeting for the short term, if at all. And while it's difficult to plan for the future, especially when many Americans live paycheck to paycheck and focus on meeting basic survival needs, an emergency fund is a necessity that can actually provide financial security and reduce stress and worry. And I'm going to tell you in a minute what you can do. I'm going to share my screen. Right. So what you can do is you can create an emergency fund. And the reason for the emergency fund is to improve your financial security by establishing a safety net that you can use in situations to meet these unexpected expenses instead of having to withdraw from ridiculously high interest debt options like credit cards, predatory loans. The current highest credit card interest rate right now is 36% on something that's called the First Premier Bank MasterCard credit card. I don't know what that is, but it's a thing. As for predatory loans, they are short-term loans, generally for about $500 or less, that are due on your next payday. So interest rates are typically around 15 to 25% for every $100 that you borrow, meaning that you pay an APR or annual percentage rate of 400%. And no, I didn't stutter, 400%. So that's in addition to the outrageous finance charges and all the other fees. So unfortunately, you can find these types of lending at, say, a payday loan company, or they have those car title loan companies. But if you look at, say, the public records, right? They filed with the U.S., it's the SEC, or the Securities and Exchange Commission. You'll see that almost 20 banks are funding or have recently funded predatory lenders. And some are the big banks, like you have Wells Fargo or the Bank of America. And quite a few others are based in Texas, like Texas Capital, Bank of Texas, and some of the others. So you talk about economic exploitation at its fullest, but that's a whole other lesson or session for another time. Okay, so back to creating the emergency fund. So with an emergency fund, you are also less likely to go bankrupt or build unnecessary debt when the emergency costs come up, right? And it can be challenging, but it is also achievable. Okay, it will take some detailed planning and possibly some sacrifice, like cutting back on, everybody picks on eating out, I guess. But just don't stop saying that you can't, and just give it a try. Just try it. Okay. The optimal solution is to start immediately. Okay. So if you have no savings, you can start by putting away, let's say, even if it's $1, let's just say $1. That's $365 after an entire year. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's the concept. Okay. You can then increase your savings to $5 a day, and you would have a fund of a little over $1,800 after 1 year. So consider diverting a portion of your paycheck to, let's say, a savings account through direct deposit, or set a monthly reminder to pay yourself first. A lot of people have a hard time with paying yourself first. And you do that by transferring funds from a primary account to your savings. So to start your savings journey, most financial professionals, they recommend building, let's say, $1,000 emergency fund, right? So this will help you understand your monthly income versus expenses while you're allocating some money for your savings. So once you have a well-funded cushion, right? Once you've established that, just earmark more money to create a solid $2,000 emergency fund. And then you can try to gradually increase your savings target from there. Okay. Ultimately, the objective should be to save at least 3 to 6 months of your annual salary. And the chart here shows you what that should look like. So this not only helps cover unexpected expenses, but it also helps to shield from the negative financial consequences in case of job loss, while hopefully providing a couple of months worth of living expenses are covered while you looking for alternative sources of income. And guess what? We have a solution that can help you. So you can call either one of us for details. Statistic number 2, 25% of student loan borrowers default within the first 5 years of repayment. So in the last decade, education debt in the United States has tripled, surpassing $1.7 trillion. So when you obtain a loan from a lender, usually you agree to specify repayment terms. Okay? Failing to make on-time payments could lead to loan delinquency. And extended delinquency then results in loan default or the failure to repay a loan, right? Which may lead to transferring the loan amount to a collection agency, right? Then default may occur immediately or after several months of missed payments, depending on the timeline outlined in your loan terms and state or federal laws, right? And then here comes that downward spiral. Okay, so it's worth noting that defaulters' credit scores may take a big hit also. And typically that's around like 50 to 90 points, right? So those with low credit scores could typically pay higher interest rates, have difficulty renting, experience delays or obstacles in buying homes. They may even find themselves ineligible from certain employment opportunities. Defaulting may even increase, let's say, the student loan borrower's balance due to the collection fees and the accumulated interest. What can you do? So it's essential to be proactive in managing student loans or any other kind of debt. For current or prospective students, it's wise to minimize the amount of student loan debt by you can explore grants and scholarships or even sometimes part-time jobs. Ideally, that the graduate should budget your loan into the repayment amount. Just budget that into your expected monthly expenses. However, if you find that you're unable to repay your student loans, there are alternate programs that you can do beyond just borrowing money from family or friends. First, you want to contact your student loan, the servicer, as soon as possible. Explore your repayment options. That'll entail finding a repayment plan that suits your situation, such as the income-based repayment plan. Okay, a temporary deferment, and sometimes even forbearance. Okay, there are solutions. So if you need help, give us a call. So actually, I'm trying to make it through at least 4 scary statistics today. So statistic number 3 is 35% of US households have credit card debt, right? In the United States, debt of all kinds is a major problem with $1 trillion in credit card debt. Low wages and a high cost of living are driving people to spend outside of their means. So, looking at the credit card debt, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York reported that credit card balances surged past $45 billion during the second quarter of 2023 to reach a little over $1 trillion. These numbers are staggering. So if you want to hear some more frightening credit card statistics, of all active credit card accounts in quarter three of 2022, last year, 56% of them carried a balance. The average APR for all credit cards was 20.68% in quarter two of 2023. What can you do? Credit is this double-edged sword. Okay, so it can be used to finance wealth building purchases while also posing a risk of excessive debt and snowballing interest. Right? Credit cards are the most common form of credit, and a simple rule for responsible use is not to buy anything that you couldn't pay for with cash. Okay? There are, of course, rare exceptions, such as if you have an emergency. Okay? View credit cards as plastic cash and not as like a gateway to this revolving debt. So if you can't pay off your credit in a reasonable time frame, it's generally advisable to forego the purchase. Easier said than done, I know. But stop saying you can't and at least try it. Okay? Another guideline is to maintain a low credit card balance. So we've all heard of this 30% utilization rule. I just read this morning that this number is up to 34%. Okay, so they're moving this down the road. So you just have to stick to it. Okay, maxing out a credit card or nearing the credit limit and then not paying it off in full each month will likely cause a lower credit score and decrease unnecessary spending. And in some cases, you want to consider temporarily maybe diverting money from a retirement account. Notice I said temporarily. You shouldn't be touching your retirement account. Okay? So temporarily divert money from your retirement account or an emergency fund in order to pay down credit card debt as quickly as possible. Okay? We may have talked about this before, about when you only make the minimum payments each month, the accrued interest could cause hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you want to prioritize paying off balances with the high interest rates first. Lastly, make every payment on time. So delinquent accounts will likely be reported to the three major credit card bureaus. You have TransUnion, Experian, Equifax. Okay, severely delinquent accounts run the risk of being closed by the creditor and sent to a collections agency. For those who are grappling with debt, just know that you're not alone and don't be afraid to reach out to the creditor, a financial professional, or some other trusted source about your situation. Some creditors, they may be able to create a repayment plan or lower your card's interest rates. Okay, some will work with you. And with a plan and commitment, you can turn your financial situation around. We offer debt management solutions, but again, we're just a phone call away. So this isn't the last one, but we can end here for today with statistic number 4. So 32% of working age American adults have zero saved for retirement. A recent survey revealed that a majority of Americans aren't saving enough for their retirement. That's 32% that have no retirement savings. And that's approximately 58 million people. That's a scary statistic. With all the things that go on in your retirement years, that's a very scary statistic. And women are even more vulnerable due to the gender pay gap, longer life expectancies, and an investment gap. Surprisingly, 25% of women say that they have no savings or less than $10,000 compared to 16% of men. Retirement savings are also closely correlated to age. So millennials are less likely to have a large retirement fund since they are the most recent entrants into the workforce. But what does it mean for most Americans? So the lack of retirement planning education, an increasingly grim outlook on the future, and the challenges of rolling over funds after job hopping, right? That indicates that opening a retirement savings account may be viewed as a hassle. However, the consequences of not saving for retirement can play out in a number of unsettling ways. What can you do? So for the younger people just starting to that are just starting out on their careers, saving now and saving regularly, that could make all the difference. All right. They can use the power of compounding interest or the addition of accrued interest to the principal deposit to your benefit. Okay. Use the power of compounding interest or the addition of accrued interest to the balance or to the principal deposit to your benefit. So even a small contribution, if you set that aside early and you contribute to it regularly, that could potentially provide a decent retirement. Many financial professionals, they recommend saving 10 to 15% of your income in a retirement account when starting your career. So younger people are in a better position to recover if they say they fall behind on their savings, right? Because they have more time to leverage the benefits of this compound interest. However, if you're over 40, right, the picture is less favorable. So anybody that's nearing retirement age will want to have significant funds. Otherwise, they may need to adopt a very aggressive savings plan. And this could save 3 to 4 times, or this could mean 3 to 4 times as much as young people. It's called the high cost of waiting, right? It's ridiculous. Procrastination is the root of the problem, with less time to save with each passing year. Older age groups may need to engage in an honest conversation about their financial priorities, and as necessary, reevaluate their expectations. You hear a lot of people say, well, I'm going to work until I die. I'm going to be working forever. Just plan. People don't, what is it? People don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. So let this be a lesson that saving money for a comfortable retirement nest egg is a wise investment, regardless of what age you begin. There is a plan out there. Okay? So those are just the first four of many, many scary financial facts. I'm going to send it back over to Savita.
That was frightening, Kaylin. Some of those statistics are mind blowing. I cannot even believe that. So I mentioned, notice the word predatory and predatory loans. Isn't that crazy? And I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I need $500, so I'll just go get one of those payday loans. Don't go get the payday loan. Sell something at the house, do something, because those payday loans are a rip off.
Did you the 400%?
That's insane. Where does that even come from? How is that even legal?
The banks do it.
That's crazy.
Banks finance it. It's out of control.
Oh, boy.
Frightening financial facts. And there's so many more. I think I found 13. I think they were doing the whole Friday the 13th frightening facts, the Halloween thing. So I came up with 13, but for time, I just limited to 4. I know I can handle 4.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
That is a lot. All right. So thank you for joining us today to talk about Money Matters, frightening financial facts. And I hope this discussion has been helpful. So by following these tips and strategies, you can take control of your finances and start building the financial future that you deserve. Remember, it is never too late to make your money work for you. So with that being said, we are done. We are ready to help. We understand and are prepared to help you overcome your challenges and capitalize on opportunities during these very turbulent times. We are professional financial representatives, and we are experienced in the many challenges and problems that individuals face in planning on both fronts, whether that be professional or personal. Whatever your life goals, we can help you design a strategy tailored to your specific needs. Contact us at your convenience to set up a complimentary, no obligation consultation to discuss your financial situation as it stands today, as well as your plans and expectations for the future. In times of economic fluctuations and these changing regulations, we believe it is critical to seek guidance from a financial professional. Herein, please contact us. We look forward to speaking with you. Our contact information is on the screen. Feel free to capture the QR code. All right, y'all, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you for joining us on this journey, Money Matters, frightening financial facts. It's all about living your best life with sass and confidence. Now go out there and handle your money like a boss. And remember to like, comment, and share this video with your friends and your family. Thank you for your time. God bless. We'll be back next week, Tuesday at 12 p.m., same bat channel, with another installation of Money Matters. All right, guys, have a good one.
November starts tomorrow. Hope you're ready.
Happy Halloween. Don't you